My name is Albert Haraldsson. I was born in Iceland and grew up fishing oceans since I was 9 years old. I have captained some of the largest fishing vessels in the world. The ship I guided and equipped, I built, have I caught enough fish to feed every man, woman and child on earth for 5 days. But today I'm very afraid. Afraid of what we are doing to the oceans and the fisheries.
The world's population is projected to reach 9 billion by the year 2050. Unfortunately, the global fishing industry, which currently provides roughly 16% of global protein intake, will have collapsed by then. In fact, extrapolating from current trends, there'll be no more fish in the ocean by the year 2048.
I've been involved with the sea all my lifetime. I started taking fish out of the sea around 8-9 years old. I started to sail with my grandfather, and I've been in all positions on the ships.
Captain Albert Haraldsson has been fishing since he was 9 years old in his home country of Iceland. He's worked in every capacity on board fishing ships and went on to captain some of the largest commercial trawlers on planet Earth. Albert learned to design and construct small fishing boats with his grandfather. But Albert's grandfather taught him more than merely how to fish. He taught young Albert how to work and how to live within the ecosystem of the sea with an eye on conservation for the future. When Captain Haraldsson was a child, most fishing in the world was still being done by small groups of fishermen on relatively small boats. The age of the giant trawlers was just beginning. As a teenager, Albert worked his way up on various fishing vessels, sailing the treacherous North Atlantic seas. At the age of 18, he entered university in Iceland to become certified to work as a captain on commercial vessels. 2 years later, he graduated first in his class. By the age of 23, he was the captain of a large commercial trawler fishing for pollock, halibut, and shrimp in the icy waters off his homeland. But just as Albert Haraldsson's career as a captain was starting, the times were changing, and not for the better. First, Iceland's government instituted a new set of fishing quotas.
They started some quota system. I didn't like it.
Next, one of the world's major fishing grounds collapsed and opened the young captain's eyes to the dangers encircling his beloved ocean. The coast of Newfoundland was once so full of cod that English explorer John Cabot complained in 1497 that they blocked his ship from reaching the shore. By 1955, this had all changed.
With these powerful and big ships, we are going to finish the fish. And I saw it. I had a dream about it. I wrote it down. It was published in Iceland.
The introduction of large commercial fishing trawlers more than tripled the catch of cod, an unsustainable level. By 1992, the biomass estimate for northern cod was the lowest ever measured. The Canadian Minister of Fisheries and Oceans had no choice but to declare a ban on fishing northern cod. For the first time in 400 years, the fishing of northern cod ceased in Newfoundland. Only 1,700 tons remained in a fishery that had for over a century yielded 250,000 tons of cod year after year. More than 40,000 jobs in the fishing industry were lost forever.
We have not been treating the fishing grounds right. I left Iceland when I was 29 years old, the year 92.
After leaving Iceland, Albert was hired by a company in Chile to oversee aspects of their fishing operation, and it was in Chile that he became both an industry leader in the development of new fishing technologies as well as in training techniques for other captains and fishermen.
And I catch in Chile a lot of fish. I make a world record in whitefish catching. I brought the technology, designed bottom trawls and midwater trawls for the fishing grounds in Chile. I went there, I catch a lot of fish there. We catch a lot of fish, we make mistakes like everybody done. I have done it also.
It was in Chile, too, where he first began to ask himself, how will we live in a world without fish? And this is the question that has haunted Captain Haraldsson ever since. Even as he traveled the world, and himself captained the largest and most sophisticated of all the vessels that catch fish on the sea.
And I put everything, all my force to do better and better and better and better. To bring more fish on land, it's food, and food is alive. Not only for me or you, it's for everybody.
Scientist David Bellow published an article in the Scientific American magazine in 2006 where he presented analysis showing that global seafood production may have peaked back in 1994.
All our lifetime we are working for our kids. And what world are we going to give them if we keep on like we are doing? It's not a nice place. That's what I can tell you. We have problems everywhere, but the ocean is the key. There's no doubt about it.
According to an analysis of the 64 largest marine ecosystems that provide 83% of the global seafood catch, global fishery production has been declining since 1999. And if this trend is not reversed, the world's fisheries will collapse around the year 2048. When Captain Haraldson arrived in Chile in 1992 to work for the Frio Sur Corporation as Master of Fishing Operations, Chile had the third largest fishing grounds in the world. Government policies there had long favored the profit margins of large-scale corporate fishing interests, often at the expense of sustainability in the Chilean fishery. And by 1999, industrial fishing vessels had been granted 95% of the catch quotas, while artisanal small-scale fishermen had the remaining 5%.
I start to talk to companies, general manager, owners, talk to governments. They don't listen, but they know very well. But never have been good to be a messenger of bad news. I'm sorry, but when you're on the ocean, if it comes a heavy storm, you have to just face it.
In addition to captaining fishing vessels and training other pilots, Albert also began designing various technologies for use in the fishing industry, including electronic equipment and the design and adaptation of nets for the fishing of mid-depth and deep waters. In Chile, Albert began to become even more aware of the perils facing the fishing industry and, by extension, the global food supply.
Today, I think it's everybody knows the problems of the oceans. It's overfished. It's how it is. Everybody talk about the problems, but you have to have the solution.
Looking for solutions, he worked with Carlos Viñuelo, director of Frio Sur Fishing and an industrial and civil engineer at the University of Chile. In 1994, Haraldson and Viñuelo released a manual of procedures for use in the Chilean commercial fishing industry as a blueprint for achieving both economic success and ecological sustainability.
I'm very afraid about this because I've been there many times, many years in the ocean. And today you are sitting in front of the 20 screens, you see in the ocean in colors and you send out frequencies and everything. We cannot be so stupid or small thinkings.
Captain Haraldson began to grow disenchanted with the power structures in the global fishing industry and to doubt their ability to implement an effective research and development methodology to ensure the sustainability of the global catch. Worried about signs he saw while at sea pointing to imminent disaster, Captain Haraldson began warning both his corporate bosses and the Chilean fishing ministry about the precarious state of the fishing grounds.
I put it in the newspaper, and I also told in the newspaper someone was maybe mistake. I was going to do my own company and buy a small boats and go another way and leave them. Because everything have been not working because...
It was at this point that Albert began to conceptualize the project that will be his life's legacy, Arcamar.
The solutions I have with Arcamar is come from the ocean.
Arcamar is a simple yet powerful plan. The idea is to transform a commercial fishing vessel into a mobile center for research and training in both industrial and artisanal fishing worldwide.
Say this is ideas, this is new technology, this is we are going to take care of you guys, we are going to show you, we are going to teach you what we know and what we think is the best way to do it. And put the people come to us on board and we talk to them there. We are not going to have some meetings on lands or something, also we can do that, but I think it's better to they come to us and we go through this on board of one ship.
Working in partnership with government, scientists, and students, the idea is to develop scientific and practical information for dispersal to both large-scale commercial ships and, even more importantly, to the small fishermen that fish in the same ways our ancestors did thousands of years ago.
Around 2000, then I had my second boy. Then I said, if I'm going to be a father in the second time, then I have to do something for the future generation.
Albert's first chance for implementing his dream to train fishermen and support sustainable fisheries came in the Region 9 area in the south of Chile. In the year 2000, Captain Haraldson passed through the dilapidated port of Cuel in Region 9 of Chile. And this same year, his two sons, Isaac and Balthazar, were born. Region 9 is the best fishing region in Chile, home to many species of fish and in close proximity to Booty Lake, the largest saltwater lake in South America. Eventually, Captain Haraldson purchased several large boats and left them in the hands of 8 to 10 families, hoping to sow the seeds of change, while helping provide a living for the fishermen and their families in a sustainable way. Another of the great problems afflicting many of the world's fisheries, including Canada and Chile, are the 3 mega predators of the sea: squid, sea lions, and whales.
We have to look at a little bit on the sea lions and the whales. The big squid, some is growing everywhere, and I have seen big banks. I have take up to 100, 120 ton catch of medusa. So when they heard the engines, the propellers of the ships, they run on the sound, and they know there is a human being fishing. When it's there, it's just always change of food. You have 100 fishes, 80 fishes are the squids going to eat, and the 10 or 15 fishes are the sea lions going to eat.
Irrational environmental policies and lack of properly developed commercial applications have left these 3 creatures to devour more fish than the 6 billion humans on Earth.
We can go to a war and we can kill each other. And if you kill a sea lion, you go to the jail.
A more rational policy must be developed to deal with our competitors for the ocean's diminishing resources.
I have 3 sons who I loved very much. I'm a father and a captain. Just like a captain guides his ship and a father guides his children, we as humans must protect and guide the oceans, or our grandchildren will live life in a world without fish.
The ocean ecology Albert Haraldson has lived his life on is now in jeopardy, and the only way to save it is to teach the fishermen and politicians of the world how to properly work the sea, just as Albert's grandfather taught him so long ago along the rocky shores of Iceland.
After spending 30 years at sea, working in every capacity on the fishing boats from 2-man's crafts to some of the largest trawlers in the world, I have the unique understanding of the ocean and of the fishing. That's why I developed the Arcamar project to spread technology and training to fishermen and their fishing grounds around the world. My dream is to ensure that a fisherman and all people on earth have a fish to eat and can be and support their families from the ocean. And that's what we keep our planet healthy. Please help me to do that.